Hi guys, welcome back to Dadlicious Eats, and today I've got another delicious puff pastry recipe for you. So we're going to be making feta parcels. So we've got puff pastry, and inside them we've got feta cheese, we've got spring onion, we've got egg to bring it together, and some pepper and some chili pepper just to give it a little bit of heat and a little bit of kick. They're cooked in the oven for about 15 minutes and they come out deliciously golden, deliciously Moorish, and they're sure to be a hit with your children, your friends, whoever you've got that's going to be eating them. No need to write this recipe down because you can find it on the website below at www.dadliciouseats.com. It would really help me out if you could like this video. It really helps me share my recipes with everyone out there on YouTube. If you've got a comment, just drop it below. I'll absolutely get back to you. I love seeing all of your supportive comments or different ways of doing things, and it's really enjoyable coming back to you. The other great thing is that this recipe costs no more than about £5 or $7 in US. It's very budget friendly, super easy. Anyone can make it. It's great to make with the children or whip up in just a few minutes. Right, let's get cooking. Right, so onto the ingredients. First up, we've got a roll of puff pastry. So this costs about £1, £1.20 from a supermarket. No point making your own puff pastry ever, really. We've got 1 egg to put into the mixture, 1 egg that we're going to use for glazing. We've got a few spring onions, something that if you don't like spring onions, feel free to leave out if you wish. We've got black pepper, chili pepper. Again, as with the spring onions, if you feel you don't need it, don't include it, or add more if you like. And then finally, we've got feta cheese as well. So feta is nice and salty, so you don't need to go ahead and add too much more seasoning in if you don't want to. Right, so first up, let's start off with the cheese filling. So we're going to take our feta, and we're just going to crumble that into a bowl. The temptation to not eat all of this right now is ridiculous. Just love Greek food. Greek food is definitely top 2 or 3 in the world, I reckon. So that's in there nicely. Just going to wipe our hands. Then into that, we're going to break an egg. We're going to add in our seasoning. And that was some chili and some black pepper that I'm using. And then on top of that, just going to cut up some spring onions. Now, if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Really appreciate all of the time you spend watching my videos and leaving comments and generally being supportive. So thank you very much. If you're not a subscriber, why not click on the subscribe button now? I've got tons of videos that I want to share with you guys. Just going to give that a good mix around. Just make sure it's all blended together nicely. So the egg here acts as a binder, basically, because if you don't have the egg, then you get quite a dry sort of filling. That looks pretty good. Give it a little bit more, and we're sorted. So next up, we're going to just preheat the oven. So I'm going to warm that up to 180 centigrade, which I think is about 375, I think, Fahrenheit. So we've got our puff pastry here. Now I tend to just add a little bit of flour on the top and then just roll it out a little bit. I find the pre-bought puff pastry is a little bit thick for my liking. Oh, there we go. So we're going to take the knife that we had before and we're going to cut this into 12 pieces. So the easy way to do this is roughly to cut down there and down there. So we've got 3 pieces lengthways and they're not exact. Then cut down the middle and then down the middle again. And we've got we've got these little rectangles. Perfect. So then all we're going to do here is take a little bit of the mixture, pop it into the middle, we're going to fold that over into what is roughly a triangle. We're just going to take a fork, whack that down. So two things that happens when you crimp. First of all, makes it look a little bit prettier, but secondly, it really seals up the edges. So we're going to make a dozen of those. We'll be back in a second. Right, so that's these just about done. Finally, before we pop them into the oven, we're going to just give them a little egg wash, just for colour. This will give them a bit more of a golden colour than if you were to bake them just on their own. Now we're going to cook these for about 15 to 20 minutes. You'll know when they're done, when they're nice and golden. And these can be eaten straight out of the oven or popped into a lunchbox later on in the day. These are great to take out of the house. They don't need to be particularly hot. They can be served and eaten cold as well. So we'll just pop these in the oven and we'll see them in 15-20 minutes. Right, so these have been going now for, I think, 17 minutes, so a little bit over 15. But they are looking perfect. They are done. And the best part is barely any leakage, which is always a success when you're baking with pastry. So we'll just leave them to cool down for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll have a good look at them. Right, these have cooled down just enough so they are no longer nuclear in temperature inside. So let's break this open. And look at that. Delicious feta cheese. We've got some spring onion in there. Give that a try. Try not to burn myself. Oh wow, that's so good. We've got delicious crispy puff pastry on the outside. We've got the feta inside, nice and salty feta. We've got the spring onion and then the seasoning as well. Really Moorish. This will go down a treat with the children. Like I say, this can be cold or hot. It's no problem either way. Right, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you making it all the way through. Again, if you could like this video, it would really help me out. If you've got a comment, if you've got a question about this recipe, let me know. You'll find it all on www.dadliciousseats.com at some stage, probably today or tomorrow. And I'm going to go away. I'm going to eat probably half this plate. But I'll be back with more great recipes soon. Until then, take care, guys.